Hello everyone, welcome to Best Designs. So today again I am going to make a tutorial. This is how I work for my Fiverr clients, and this was the requirement I get from my client. So he is saying that just have a vision of a straight one-way view of a highway, maybe going under some highway signs. So this is the idea here. So he wants a one-way highway just like this one, and then the highway is going under some street signs. So this is the street sign we need to create here, and then he is saying just say some random town names, maybe stuffs about me. That means he wants us to create something like this, and then with some random town names or something about him. That is very personal to my client, so I will not go for that part. But let's say how to work on the project like this. So maybe some of us try to take vectors from FreePic or other sites, but in this kind of designs you cannot take vectors from FreePic because you will not find anything like that. So what we can do here is we need to create this one, and we need to create this from the beginning. So for this tutorial or this design I am going to use this two image as my reference. So I am going to create exactly this one but in a vector style. So first step is we need to draw it out, and we need to add some extra elements to it just to make it look cool, and I will add this street sign here. So before starting this project or this kind of drawing, one thing we need to understand that we can draw it as it is, and for that we need to keep something in mind. So in every image or anything you see, there is a horizon line. So this is the horizon line where you can see like the road, the ground and the sky and mountains are meeting. So that we can call a horizon line. And there is another point which is the viewpoint line here. So viewpoint is, this is the point where human eyes can clearly see, and then after that it becomes distorted. That means you can see the road is bigger here, and from here you can see the road is being smaller, because after this point we cannot see it very clearly. So I am going to create that exactly same thing here in my design. I am going to start with a very basic shape here. I am going to use my pen tool most of the time. So I am going to draw a line just like this, not that much thicker, just maybe 5 point, that is good. So I am going to keep this line something like here, and then I am going to create these lines from here. So this is the outside boundary of this road. I am going to draw them as it is. Then I will add this white line here, which is the road line here. This is good, and then I will add this center line. So I'm going to keep it from here, and then I will bring something like this. But for okay, let me just bring down the opacity. So for this line here, as you can see here, it should be like bigger in this part and smaller in this part. So for doing that, we can simply select our white tool, which is Shift plus W. So now you can see whatever I am pressing. So I am going to select this one. I am going to press Shift W. That is going to allow us the white tool, and with white tool we can simply click and drag to make this area bigger, and then automatically it will make that area smaller, or you can simply make it smaller like this. So this is how it is going to look. That is fine. So this is the straight line. This is how it is going to be, and for this part I am going to select this line, and then I am going to take my curvature tool, and with curvature tool you can simply click on anything and we can drag it like this. So I am going to make a little curve like this, not a straight line, just a curved line like that. So that is good, and then we need to bring this to this point. I am using my direct selection tool, and whenever I am dragging it, as you can see, this is not the right place. If the purple line is showing me, this is the original place. It should be like the guideline or the exactly same space where it should meet. So maybe I will just meet this one in this area like this. So that is fine. Now this is how it is going to be, and then after, and for the rest of the area I am going to, so this is like going a long way in that direction. We can add that, or we can simply just end it here, or you can just make another line from there. So this is how it is going to be, and from here I am going to add another line which will be the shortest part of the road or the smallest part of the road. So maybe just like this, and everything should be in this similar stroke white, something like this, but let's make some space between them. Okay, so this is how it is going to be. This is how the road is going to look. Maybe I am just going to make it in this direction. Okay, so something like that. And here I am going to add another line, which is going to be the another horizon line like this, and from this point I will add some mountain shapes. This is very small mountains, we cannot see, there is lots of sky space here, but I will not make that. I am going to make some mountain shapes here. So for doing that, I can simply take my pencil tool. With pencil tool I can draw some shapes like this. So another line may be like this, just to create a mountain style shape here. I'm just going to create it very randomly, so nothing to be something like this. But before that, I need to make a space like the wide of my full design. So I'm going to keep it kind of like this. This should be inside my. Okay, so let's just align it with this one. So this is the center position. Then maybe I will need to change this direction a little bit. Okay, so I want to make it in the exact same space here. So these two lines should meet that. This is not matching with my image, but that's fine. This is how my road is going to look. And then I have these small areas to fill. And for that, I'm going to use my pencil tool again, just like this. So as you can see, this is just some random mountain shapes, nothing very fancy here. So that is fine. Now at this point, I'm going to illustrate this street sign here. I'm going to keep everything that same size of my same size stroke that I started with. Now maybe I will just add this one here, just like this. So I can now select these three, use my shape builder tool to remove all the extra parts that I don't need, just like this one. Now in this case, as you can see, here is a bit little problem here. So I can select these two anchor points with my direct selection tool and then click join. That will join it. So this is the first part, and I'm going to make it a group. Then I will make a copy, bring this in the opposite side, align it, and then I'll just bring it a bit close to one another. So that's it. This is the street sign. I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to place it somewhere between here, but I need to place it just above the road line, as you can see, so it will be visible from here, or maybe just with the road line. This is fine. And then I will need to modify these corners. I'm using my direct selection tool to select these two anchor points, bring them down. I'm going to select this one and this one and this one. Then I will use my shape builder tool again to erase this part, just like this. So that is fine. Now here I am going to add two more lines just to join those two signs. So as you can see, this is how it is going to look right now, and that is fine. This is okay, and I'm okay with the overall look of this graphic. Now it's time for coloring, and before starting the coloring process, I'm going to keep a copy of it because I will need to expand everything here. So I'm going to keep a copy. I'm going to select everything, then I'm going to expand. So go to object, expand appearance, then again go to object and expand. So by expanding, all the strokes are now gone. They are now in fill styles. They are now in fill shape. So selecting these two, erasing the center part of it, because my this street sign is should be on top of everything. So also this one, selecting them using eraser tool. I am pressing alt to erase like a rectangle, just as you can see here. So that is good. Okay, so this is fine. Now I am going to select everything from here. Then I am going to use shift M again to erase all the extra parts that is going outside of my box here. I don't need them, just like this. Also this one. So here the road line, it should be divided. So I'm selecting this one. With eraser tool, I am going to erase some part of it, just like this. So I will keep the shape smaller in this area, and then I'll keep it bigger in this area. So as you can see, the parts of these shapes, these are bigger from our point of view, and it is smaller where it is going to meet at the distance point. So this is fine. Okay, so maybe just I will take another copy of it. I will just place it here, make it a bit smaller, just like this. Then I am going to erase it also. Just like this. So this is fine. Now at this point, this drawing is done. Let's start the coloring process. So for coloring this design, I need to take these two colors, the street sign and the yellow color from the sign. So maybe this one. Okay, so this is a low resolution picture, that's why we cannot take that color. Maybe I will be able to take the color from here. Yeah, that is kind of orange, but that's fine, that will work. So as you can see, this is how it is looking, and I'm going to add this to color in my source panel here. And now I'm going to select everything, press K for live paint bucket tool. With this one, I'm going to select this color and fill this area. So I want to keep this kind of silvery color or gray color, like that. That is good. For the road, I am going to add some darker shapes, dark colors like this, which is fine. And for the rest of the graphic, as you can see, this is a desert. This road is going through a desert, but I don't want to make a desert look here, so I will make some, this is going through a green field or something like that. So I'm going to take a green color to fill like this. Okay, so here we can do one more thing, which is a really interesting one. If you go to this option here, source library, you will find tons of pre-made colors from Illustrator. No matter if you are using a premium version or crack version, you will find this. So we can use this source here, this earth tone source, or maybe we can go to nature, and then you can take like landscape color. So this landscape color is good. So this is what you should be using when you are illustrating something related to a landscape. So I'm again pressing K for my live paint bucket tool. I am going to use this one, this green for this area, a bit lighter green for this area. Okay, so it should not be lighter, it should be darker when it is going in the, when it is in the distance, it should be darker. When it's closer, it should be lighter. Something like this, which is fine. Maybe a bit more darker color for this area. That is the part of the mountain, but that much dark is going to make it look invisible on a black background. If I take a black background and put it right behind, you can see this is going to be blending with the black background. So for that reason, I am not going to use that much darker shade. So maybe just a bit darker, not too much. Okay, that is fine. Some random shades of green. Maybe we can use this kind of colors for the mountains just to make it look like real mountain of. Okay, I'm just going to make it something like this. Okay, so just like this, that is fine. We will add some details later. And for this area I need to add some more details here, but the first coloring option is done here, and at this point we need to break it. So I'm going to select this graphic here, then expand it. So expanding it will expand the live pane bucket effect we applied. The now if I double click here, I'm going to take a rectangle and then I'm going to select this black color, and with that color selected I can simply select this rectangle, go to select same and then fill color. That is going to select everything that is in black color. So let's cut it. So as you can see, there is no more black colors in my this design. Everything is now in the background color. So I'm going to just keep it ungrouped. Then I am going to take a new layer, and here I will press Ctrl F. So Ctrl F will bring back my Ctrl F is going to paste my that black layer on top of where it was actually. So in this area I'm going to just select these shapes here to put the colors we want, just like this one should be white. So we're not going to use exactly the 100% white, we're going to use kind of grayish white. So that is fine, and here we need to add that white line too, but in a very smaller size. This is not important, but just to add some more details. Okay, so these two I want to paste them behind these black lines. As you can see, they are now on top of black lines. So cut it, and then here I am going to lock this black layer. So nothing on the black layer can be selected. And here I am going to come to this layer, original layer, and then press Ctrl F here. Those white lines are going to place there. So this is how it is going to be, and this is fine. Just maybe a bit darker for the road. That is good. So this is the original illustration. This is how it is right now. We can add some more details to it, and if you want to add some details to it, we can add that on top of this original base layer. So let's say this color is called outline, then this color is called base color, and then this is going to be the shadow layer. So on this shadow layer we are going to add some details. So I'm going to pick this color here, whatever layer we are working, we need to pick that color, then take a darker tone of it, just like that. So here I'm going to add some random shapes to my this design, just like this, to add some details to it, just like this, which is fine. Then I'm going to select this one, I will bring it here, reflect it, just like this, and this is going to work. Okay, so that is fine. Now I'm going to select this two layer, selecting my eraser tool to erase this part because that is on top of that color. So this is good. I'm going to add some more shapes to this layer here, maybe kind of a bushy shape, which is fine. Here I will make a variation of that, not exactly copying that same color here or the same style shape here, just like this. Okay, so that is fine. And for these colors we can add some more details of it by taking a darker shade, just like this. Okay, so I'm using my mouse here, that's why it is a bit difficult. But if you have a graphic tablet or anything, you can try that. I have one, just I'm not using it right now. Okay, so let me add some details to it. Okay guys, so this is how it is looking after adding a little bit details on the mountains and this one, this street sign here. So this is pretty much all of it, the tutorial about. And we can add some more details to this road here just to give it a little bit depth, maybe just like this. I'm going to select this one and then erase this part. So this is fine. Now everything we are doing is under this black outline layer. If I turn this off, we can see what this is, how it is ordinarily looking, and this is it is with the black line. So this is how you can illustrate this one. Now for a design like this, we can add this kind of street details, as you can see. Okay, so shortcut is not working, don't know why. Okay, so this layer is actually locked, so that's why it is not working. Otherwise it should unlock this image, as you can see here. So if you want, we can add some details like this. So this is a text details, but I'm just going to add them as lines. So these are the street details of the sign. Here I'm going to cut it. In this layer I will place it like this. In my original design that I did for my client, I added his name and his company details on this street sign, but that's pretty much very similar or very basic to this one. So anyway guys, so this is how we can illustrate anything from an idea. You can work like this on Fiverr, and you don't need to copy anything or take anyone's work for this kind of work, and this is really cool. So it will help you learn illustration, it will help you learn using tools of illustrator. So a design is not actually making something super crazy, a design is actually executing an idea. So this was the idea of my client. He wanted me to create something that from his idea, and I did for him and he liked it. So that's a design is all about. If he is happy with the design, it is fine, you don't need to worry about anything else. So if we add a layer, a black layer, this is how this design is going to look. Also, if this is, sometimes it can happen that your client will say that I don't like all this rectangular shape here. As you can see, this is the perfect rectangle shape. So in that case, we can do two things. We can add a circle which will make it a circular design instead of a rectangular design. So this is how it is going to look. And then for these sharp edges, if we don't want a sharp edge, we can do another thing, that is I'm going to copy this one, then I'm going to make that clipping mask here, and here I'm going to paste that shape, that copied shape again with Ctrl F. This is how it is looking. I'm going to press Shift X to turn it into a stroke. So let's change the color of the stroke so that we can see. Now this is the white stroke. Now here I will select this white stroke and I will apply a brush effect, this default Illustrator brush effect on this design. I will make it a bit bigger. So this is how it is looking. Now I will just copy Control. Okay, so before copying that, let's expand it. So as you can see, this is now expanded. So let's Control C, Control F. That will be copy and paste, and then I'm going to reflect this shape. So as you can see, this is how it is looking. This is not looking like a straight cut from the outside, but it is looking like a distress look for the edge of this graphic. And for this one, I can simply make it black color to match with the background. So as you can see, this kind of cool effect it is creating. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope it was helpful, and if you learned something new from this one, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know if I should make tutorials like this, how I work with my Fiverr clients. So that will help me. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video. Have a great time.